Welcome to the Vista Acres Homestead channel. We'd like to thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications button, and if you can, give us a like button. And again, thank you for watching. Okay, y'all, welcome back to Vista Acre Homestead. As I was telling you, we was going to get started on this chicken. What was called a chicken tractor, actually we're going to put turkeys in it. And this was going to be a weekend project. We're starting here Friday afternoon, and we're going to get started making our notches. I got everything. Everything here is new that I purchased this morning. So we should be able to give exact prices of what it cost to build this tractor. The only thing that we ordered was from Amazon was the door hinge and work build kit. It's actually a braces and hinges. It's a really neat kit. Now I did mess up this morning at Lowe's, which I had a lot going on. I had a job interview with Lowe's. I forgot to get the 4x4x8s, which you would notch those to lock in here. So what I'm hoping is I can notch it for the 2x4, which would be the same size as what I'd notched the other 4x4, and then I'm going to put a 2x4 in between here, because the reason I notched these things is I definitely want a locking system, because I will, as you've seen in some of the previous videos, use the tractor to move these coops around. So first thing I'm going to do, I do it the lazy way instead of measuring. I just take a 2x4 and lay out here, and that's where that mark's going to be. And then I take and mark that, and then I'm going to take and I'll put a little mark here. I'll use a square to finish that up. Alright. Mark that like so. Maggie, get her marks on. Chasing bugs or shadows, I never know. What are you chasing, Maggie? Bugs or shadows today? Sure. And I'll line it up with this top mark, like so. They won't get any close in. Okay, we line up with this mark, then I mark with my 2x4 how thick this is going to be for the notch, and then I've got it notched out or laid out to where we can make our cuts. Now, this end is a typical end of a lumber that you buy. I don't think this is square at all. Well, it's actually better than, yeah, it's really square. It's pretty good. That's not bad at all. And so we're gonna line that up. We'll line this up with this, and we'll put our mark down there. Now, if this is a little bigger, it's not a real big deal. Now, you don't want it smaller. You want this thing to lock in here pretty good. And I did buy some extra 2x4s. I could afford it today. They're down to $4 and something. Still a little expensive, but a whole lot better than what they was when I built that other tractor. It was $8 when we built that other one on the homestead. It was not cheap. Okay. Angie, we might get the drone when I get the square part of this thing put together and fly it above this thing to give the dimensions.
Okay. That's a pretty good idea.
All right, y'all, I'm coming down through there to mark that line. Okay, I've got a problem over here. Will probably be a problem. There's a knot. Oh. And that's typical with pine. Going into that. So I'm gonna take this and mark about where I want this at. Maggie jumping and stuff. Look at them chickens, they're making some racket. You know, this is a shady spot. It's still, I mean, it is still hot out here today.
Very.
It's cooler than what it would be if we was, and we're not gonna, we got today and tomorrow to get these two built, so we're not in a huge hurry. Okay, next thing I want to do is get my saw depth set. All right. So, first thing I try to remember to do is pull this battery. Back when I was fooling with saws that back in the day, saws that you plugged up, I always pulled the cord, but new days. All right, see how much depth that is? So what I'm gonna do is make an adjustment here. I got it, and we're gonna set this depth to, yeah, that's good there, you see? Zoom in on that, Angie, real quick. All right, see how that tooth right there is right below? So that's gonna give us a good, so we're gonna lock this thing in to where that's good. And then you wanna make sure this angle's set right. You don't want an angle, you want it flat. And then we're ready to go, so I'll reinstall the battery. And we're ready to start making some cuts here. The first thing we'll do is make these 4 top cuts. Okay, I go a little bit past this because that gives me a cut that's all the way through when I try to notch these things out. I did the same thing here. Not a real pretty cut. Let me trim that up a little bit. What I need to do is pull that back to where it's not pushing back on the cut. Yeah, I'm gonna give one there. Okay, we got into that knot right there. We knew we'd do that. Alright, now we're going to flip this over. Alright, and then we're going to cut the other sides.
Put the other side and knock it out.
Okay, I'm pulling this back so that it doesn't, when it grabs, it doesn't move my saw for me. Alright, see that fell off? Got a pretty good cut. Where's our 2x4? You see the 2x4 fits right in there. That's what we want. And we'll square that up. See, I got enough room to square it up if I need to. Alright, I'm gonna finish making these cuts. Alright, we got that. That looks good. Next thing we're going to need to do is cut our 2x4 this way. We know, and the reason I know is from building one of them, and then also Living Traditions, who does a really good job on showing how to build these. I think he calls them hoop coops, right? Yeah. He does. I mean, that's where I got got this idea from. And I think him and I may do it a little bit different here. He uses 2x4s, but because I moved mine, I want to use these 4x4s and make it a little bit heavier duty. But this will be 7 feet wide. The reason you want it 7 feet wide, and we'll show that on the camera, is you want your hoop to be tall enough to walk under. So if you spread it out, that's going to make your top of your hoop lower. So he did the math for me, and basically it needs to be 7 feet. So I'm going to get these 2x4s and saw 2 of them 7 feet long. Okay, y'all, how I set this up, real simple. Don't have to measure. Half 2x4s, about that. Just so you can take 2 of these and put them together. Take the blade out of it, and that'll split this pretty nice. Doesn't have to be anything precise. I'm gonna put about 3 in it. That should be plenty. I'll put 4 in. I just make sure it's real smooth right here. Flush, flush, flush. Something like that. Okay, y'all, that gets something for the cattle panel to rest on. So now I'm going to cut my 2x4s and run this way. I've got some here. We're going to do that again. I'm going to cut my 2x4s. It's going to be 7 feet. I find it always interesting with saws. Most everybody's right-handed because of the way they was taught right-handed. But saws, if you're going to watch the blade, they're really left-handed. Now, Ryobi does make one that the blade is on this side. I've got one where if you're right-handed, you can actually see where your blade is going. That's just interesting with saws that they do that. I'm fortunate that I can operate left or right-handed. So, it's not a huge deal for me. I primarily work right-handed. Okay. Hey, I looked it up on Google and it said, why are so many circular saws left-handed? Traditionally, all worm drive saws operated in a blade left orientation. Furthermore, the orientation likely places the weight of the saw over the portion of the material the user wants to keep, making it easier to stabilize the saw during the cut. Oh well. So that's the way they did it then, and I guess that's the way they kept doing it. And that's why there is so many circular saws that are left-handed. We're ready to get the sawhorses out of the way, and I'm gonna put these two over here. I didn't get enough toothbrush. Alright, we're gonna get this thing on the ground and put these two with this and have our square. We're gonna go get the drone and we're gonna try to get you a little above shot of what this looks like. Okay, what we're going to do now, y'all, we're going to take these clips, and I did see this on Living Traditions, and basically I'm going to attach the wire to the post and use a wood screw like this, and then use a washer. And you'll show a close-up, and you know, may not even have to use the washer on that because that fits better than those metal ones. These brass ones do a little bit better. That's what we're going to do now.
It probably still would hold it better though, wouldn't it?
Oh, we'll try one.
Let me turn it off so I can get this.
Yeah, if you want to.
These are quite a bit.
All right, y'all, you put them in this little clip, and then you take, I'm putting it every other one, and then you just squeeze it. That's easy, 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 easy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you say, Maggie? Maggie said that's easy. As easy as you can get. Okay, y'all, had to put clips. I would put it about every inch and a half apart. What you want to remember is you don't want to give a gap to where a predator could get a claw in and start ripping and tearing. So you want that wire, when you're putting the chicken wire on the coop there, you want to make sure you get it really close and real tight to where nothing can get in there.
It's hot.
Okay, that worked out really good, y'all. What I used was a piece left over from that cut to use it as a brace to support that wall. And that is the wall that will be supporting the door that will go onto the unit. And I will also show how I use those brass strips to attach that wall, that board, that support board to the coop itself. Hey, what I'm doing is measuring the width of the door, and that will let me know where I need to put my next board at. Okay, what you seen me do before and then on this particular board is I lay it up there, I take a pencil and I just mark it off. Nothing real fancy here, just a mark to where I can kind of take the saw and make a certain degree cut. It gives me an idea of how much I need to cut off. So don't stress on that part, just lay it up there, take your pencil, mark a line on it, and then go over there with your saw and cut it. Just cut it off the best you can. I wouldn't spend a lot of time with that. Probably does. It looks like the thing did it. Leveled up. Now she's level. Let's see if she's same measurements. We are at the top, 27 inches wide. That's about 26 and 7/8 at the bottom. We are 28 inches.
How could that be level?
Well, this is taller than this.
Oh, okay.
That's 27, should say. And that is 28. Yeah, that's where I messed up on that oven. I leveled it, still making sure that it was the same. Remember? We ended up with that gap in that door. You know, it's not level, but rather have when I build a square door, the door fits, right?
Right.
And that's what I did the last time, is I leveled them both up, and then when I went to put the door, I had a gap. But actually, I had to solve the door. I don't think we showed that on video. You know. Right, Maggie. Hope I did that one. I gotta go over and check that one, make sure I'm not dragging the ground with it over there.
Yeah, you may be.
Yeah, I might have to go over and check that.
You can just unscrew it though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice thing about putting things together with a screw. The only thing I don't like is it wasn't level. It is 26 and you need to go down a little bit. There it goes, 26 and 7/8. 26, 7/8, 7. Okay, y'all, we finished up the day. Had some steaks that we had put in the freezer several months ago, and they were still good. We was able to smoke them, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a long video, and yes, it is just one part. That's the reason we made it 2 parts, because when I finished editing, it was just too long of a video for one uploading. So the next video tomorrow is about the same length as this one, and I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please select that like button, and don't forget to subscribe, and we appreciate every one of you, because that's what's helping this channel grow. And hope everybody has a great week. Thank you.